For 250,000, you can buy yourself a spacious 3-4 bedroomed house in the town of Mpumalanga. Yeah, not far away from the beautiful power station that we've got. And I'm sure some of you are wondering, TJ, is there a power station in Mpumalanga? Well, there is, my good friends. And today I want to bring you this deal. It is in a town called Grootvlei. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I've been studying how to pronounce it. But my good friends, this particular property that I'm talking about, it's a good property. It's sitting on a stand which is just below 1,000 squares. Where do you get 1,000 squares for 250,000? Actually, that 250,000, it is negotiable. But on the same property, the suburb where this property is, it's called Mpumalanga, right? And I hope I'm not butchering that. Yeah, but it does say Mpumalanga here. It's sitting on just below 1,000 squares, so which means that you're getting an ample size of property. The same property sold for around about 400,000. That was back in 2007. And at the moment, this particular owner who had all of these properties, this is one of 20 that he had from back then. He's retiring, and he says to me, TJ, can you just offload my stock, please? And I went out to Mpumalanga. The things that I do for you guys to get some good deals, it's amazing. I drove out to Grootvlei not so long ago, and before the end of this video, at the tail end or somewhere in between, I'm going to show you a walk around. The property is beautiful, but there's a bit of work to be done. Let I just warn you. So if you have never thought that you can buy a freestanding house, it's in existence, and there's currently a tenant on the same property who's paying 6,000 rand. Whoa! Did we just say you're buying it at negotiable 250 and there's an existing tenant of 6,000 rand? Oh yes, my friends. My producer is saying actually it's 7,000 rand. Okay, 7,000 rand is what they are currently getting at this particular property. Okay, so if we're to go into this property, it's next door to the power station, and this is where the opportunity is. So many of us, we don't see opportunities because we don't understand what creates the opportunity. But let me give you a few lessons today. Whenever you're looking at an opportunity, it is important to understand what's within the area. So Grootvlei, if you are to get there, there's only one thing, it's the power station. And if you have to understand the power stations, how they're working, and how we've been suffering with load shedding, if you haven't been on solar, some of us, we've been on solar for a minute, you'd know that at the moment, there's a big drive for Eskom to have the turnaround. I don't know wherever you are right now, if you've had load shedding, but we haven't been having load shedding for a minute. Which basically means that if you've been looking out in the newspapers and all the other things that's happening, you would see that they're basically saying here, there's a big turnaround strategy with Eskom, and we've seen the leadership that has come in, we've seen the new CEO that has come in. Now, why am I telling you about this? It is because the Grootvlei power station, which is Eskom or driven by Eskom, 99% of the people actually work for Eskom, right? So which basically means that if you are buying this property, you're buying it for two reasons. The first one is that maybe you want to go and stay there. It's a cool retirement place. It's chilled out. That's number one. By the way, this property is just like next door to a church. So I was like, ooh, if I'm to stay here, I wake up like 5 minutes to church and I'm just walking across the road. But anyways, let's come back to how you can make money in it. So you can buy it for yourself, or you can buy it for the to rent it out to the people that are working at this power station. Now you might be saying to yourself, TJ, but how's that going to work? I'll fill you in. But let's talk about this property. This property in the area, the valuation in the area that's being given here is that at a low, this property is valued at 370,000, like at a low. However, the highest in terms of if this property was in good shape and it's beautiful, it will be sitting at around about 740. That's what the data is saying. However, the estimated value of this particular property is sitting on 520. This person is wanting to sell it off for 250. What is the reason why they are pulling it off for around about 250? Basically, it's the price of the land, in my view, that they are selling here. I am going to tell you why they are doing that. Now, if we are to also look in the area and see all the other sales that have happened within the last, let's say, 2 to 3, 5 years, the same property, my friend, in the suburb of Pomelong, this is in Grootvlei. Basically, this property is valued at 495. Now, if you're wanting to get all of this data and you're like saying to yourself, TJ, how do I get to all this data? Not to worry. At the end of this video, when you are done watching it, there is a link right there at the bottom where it normally say meet the TJ tribe and link tree. And basically you can hit that, populate your details and request for a what we call it, an investment pack. And the investment pack, my friend, is we will send you all this information that we are getting, that I'm also telling you here, but you can see it for yourself and to see whether this is a good deal for you. Actually, this person that is selling this property, they bought the property, they got a bond, or should I say they had a bond from back then, and they bought this property for just below 500, and now they're selling it for 250. Now, what happened? Well, simply put, what happened was that they had 20 of these properties over the years. They've milked it hard, but they've used a specific strategy that I want to give you guys today. So hang 10 as we go along. Again, we're still talking about this particular property. It's a stunning 3-bedroom, but maybe let me just show you the property, eh? Let me go in and show you the property. So, and bingo, there we go to view the actual property. So as you look at the property at the end, the behind of the house, this is as you walk in, this is where the property is. You can see this. This house is not built with bricks and mortar. Oh, my friend there is running away from me. You're right. This house is not built with brick and mortar. You can see there's a nice garage there. As we go into that garage, you can park your car in there, nicely secured. And I did say that the property is not built with brick and mortar. It's basically built with what we call alternative building material. And all the properties in this area, as you drive around, you'll be able to see that. It's got a back room, sort of like. You can see these guys haven't been looking after this property at all. But it does look decent. And as we go in here, this is like another roomish, kind of like. There's a bathroom, toilet. Nobody has been in here for a minute. Thank God it wasn't smelling. And as we go out, look at that, 1,000 squares and vintage house. So you can bond this property, by the way, if you're keen on bonding it. But this is the spacious property. This is just outside. I'll put in some more trees in here to just create some shade. I'm going to tell you what the opportunity is on this property as we go along. Beautiful trees at the back here. Mpumalanga is known for its vegetation around.
a shower working? Yes. Okay.
So welcome back. I'm sure that you had a look there, and we had to fast track some of the other part of the video where we're showing you the property. But you can see that there's lots of work that is needed in there. It's not a lot of money that you would need to renovate that. I've got a team standby for renovations if you're needing that. But I'm going to tell you what the opportunity is, my friends. This particular property, I think for me, it is it's something special. It's a special project for someone like you who will be keen on a property like this one. And I think it's in a fantastic property if we're talking about if you're going to go the route that I'm going to suggest. So there's two routes here. The first one is that maybe you can buy it and it become a home for you. Mpumalanga is in South Africa. It's in a region of many holiday destinations. So from there you can go to Kruger National Park. If from there you can go to God's Eye, God's Window, God's Eye. Anyway, you guys know you go to holidays than I do. I'm still in the building process. I'm not doing a lot of holidays. But there's many the Sabi also. It's also in the same area. So there's lots of many holiday destinations that you can get to from this place. But let's assume you're not going to go the route of making it a home. It's a cheapy home in my view. It's in a quiet neighborhood. Crime has been very low in this area. So for this reason, I really think that it's a good gem. It's not just a house, but it's a perfect investment opportunity for someone who's ready to rent it out, or just dive in and just stay in that property. Now, if you had to rent it out, what are your options? What are your options? I think this is where the gold is. I've shown you the property. I don't know. I'm not thinking that I want to sell Mpumalanga as a holiday destination. We all know it's got stunning landscapes in Mpumalanga. It's just a prime location from an investment perspective if you're to rent it out for the holiday purposes. But that's not the deal here. The deal that I want to bring in, my friends, is now huddle in on this one, because I think this is where the gold is. Since we all know that we've been having trouble with the power, we've been having trouble. This particular station, rumor has it, it's been running on 50% capacity. I said rumor has it because I don't have the facts and I don't work at the power station, so I don't know. But those that stay in the area, they have had an influx of contractors coming into the area, and the Eskom has literally knocked on almost every door for accommodation over the years. And that accommodation had sort of like went down, and of late it's starting to pick up. Now, for anyone else who is a little bit of more brains, they would figure out why this investor exited this neighborhood, because obviously within the last couple of years we've been seeing more and more load shedding kicking in. Which means that Eskom was not running properly. But now Eskom is running properly and it's ramping up. Chances are, and this is where we as entrepreneurs, we identify the opportunity and we ride with it. So you're buying when the market is low and you're buying at a good price, and then you ride with it. So what can you do on this particular property? Option number one is to just buy it at 250, do a little bit of renovation over a period of time, maybe keep this tenant that's paying the 6,000-7,000 and just move on. You're making profit already, okay? By just doing that. You're buying at 250, light reno, rent it for 6,000 to 7,000 rand. Keep the tenant or get your own tenant. Easy peasy, right? No questions asked, bingo. The second opportunity is maybe you want to buy it for yourself and then you make it a holiday home. So it's a detour to your Kruger, and as you go along, it's an option, but it's not an investment, right? That's not an investment. That's just buying for the sake of, you're buying a property, a holiday home, kind of like, and it's a detour. It's an hour's drive away from Johannesburg. So for some of you who are interested in, small getaways, you can also kind of like Airbnb it in that area. There's not so many properties that are on the Airbnb, and you can still be able to sell the concept of going further down to the Kruger, coming back, and that kind of thing, right? And there's also many scenarios that around the Grootfontein itself. Balfour is not too far away from it, so there's plenty of things. But here is the deal, the real deal, my friends, where I see the opportunity. The power station is getting back to its former glory, which we are seeing in the neighborhood when we did the research that Eskom itself has now started knocking on people's doors to say, do you have accommodation? And within this, they are wanting to rent out houses and rooms like what they used to do back in the days for their contracted worker. Oh, TJ, what do you mean? I've not spoken to this a lot, but this is something that is so common in the UK market. And in South Africa, it's not a big thing, but I've seen it also in other towns as a strategy. So it's a hybrid of, let's say, student accommodation. What do I mean by that? So you're basically renting out a bed or renting out a room to a service provider, right? So you're kind of like doing an Airbnb, but different. But let me explain what do I mean. You buy the house, and Eskom, they do have requirements, and I'm happy to provide those requirements to you. Our offices, we have done, us, we do all the work for you. Yeah. So basically what happens is here is that Eskom has given us the requirements to say, if you're going to provide accommodation to us, these are the requirements. What are those requirements? For them to rent a room from you, that room needs to have, number one, a bed in it. It needs to have a chair in it, a table in it, or should I say a desk. And it needs to have curtains, and on top of the curtains, it also needs to have cupboards. They are willing to pay plus minus 2,000 rand, all right, for that house. So let's just assume at the bottom, actually, they're paying 2,000. So now you're paying 2,000 rand. This house, as you have seen, it's got 4 bedrooms that are standing there, right? 4 bedrooms. There's a dining and a lounge, and then there's a garage, and then there's another room. So I'm just going to work on, let's say, 5 bedrooms on it. 5 bedrooms if configured correctly. How much can you earn? You can be able to earn 10,000 rand at minimum. There's other requirements, obviously, that we can share with you. We'll give you the full pack when you dial in with us or when you check in with us. So, at minimum, you are going to make 10,000 rand, and your 10,000 rand, you've bought at 250, and within a short period of time, you can rent it out, and within the rental, you can renovate it, and then from the renovation, you need to have furniture in the property. The bed that I spoke about, the desk that I spoke about. So in my head, I kind of like worked it out very much the same way that we do for student accommodation. It's the same recipe. The only difference here is that it is a different tenant. This is a contract worker versus a student. So I would change a few things. Instead of having a single bed, I'll have like a 3/4 bed, because now you're accommodating a grown-up, right? A man or women, that is, So maybe the bed needs to be a little bit more flexible. But they're here, they're paying you 2,000 rand a bed. Now, you have enough ample space on this property, which gives you another opportunity that we are not seeing. On 1,000 square, you can potentially have more rooms, or should I say you can have more living spaces. If you're to speak to the town planner, or should I say with an architect, you can extend that house, thus increasing your number of living space, increasing your 2,000, and you are renting this property to Eskom. So your tenant, you are the landlord, the tenant is Eskom, and within that, you are getting paid from Eskom on a monthly basis, and over and above that, the people that stay in the property, they are just living on your property and you get to maintain it. That is where the gold is, my friend. And there's more properties, right? So I remember I did indicate this is one of 20 properties, right? So some of the other properties have been selling as we've been here, but I thought let me just showcase one of them. So if you are saying to yourself, hey TJ, I think I'm in on this property, I just want you to do, what you just need to do is, at the bottom here, you know my number. I'm sure by now you know it. That's our hotline number. It is basically +2778 422 6647, and you can reach out to us. It's not our preferred way of you getting through to us, but if that's the only way that you've got, that's okay. Our preferred way is that you jump on the link, you populate your name, you populate your name, surname, cell phone number, email address, and bingo, you start getting more deals over and above this one. But if you just hit us up, let's say on WhatsApp, we don't know who you are, we don't have your email address, so when more deals come through, you kind of like miss it. So if you're interested in this property or you want to know more, hey, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you enjoyed this tour here, hey, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to also hit that notification bell so that you never miss an update from some of these amazing properties like this one that we're always showing case on a Wednesday deal day. So thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you on the next video right here at the TJ Tribe. But hey, don't forget, before you go, I just want to clarify one thing. This is not bricks and mortar. It is alternative built. You can bond it. This property is already bonded with Nedbank, so you can bond it. And then fourthly, you can buy this for rental purposes, or you can rent it to own and stay there. It's just about an hour away from Johannesburg, probably another 10-20 minutes from Pretoria, but depending where exactly you're coming from Pretoria. So until we see each other again, my good friends, don't forget to share these amazing deals with other like-minded people so that we can all grow. And who knows, you might not have some money today, but your bra might have. And by passing on this deal to them, you have done a good thing. It is I, your boy TJ. We'll check you out again, like I said, on the next video.